Yo, it's your boy Ghost here, and today I'm bringing the comparison video between the Grau and Kilo. Before we get into that, I want to apologize for any noise that you hear in the background. The landscapers at the apartment are here, you know what I'm saying, they're doing their job. So you just gotta let them vibe. So I apologize for the noise in the background. I can't really do anything about it, so we just gotta let them vibe. Anyways, I wanted to make this video because it's no secret that the Kilo is widely considered the best gun in the game, or at least the best AR in the game. And, you know, whether you agree or disagree with that, you know what I'm saying, it's your opinion, but for the most part, Kilo is considered that gun, and hell, you see a lot of streamers use this weapon. Now, the Grau is, or used to be, that weapon. It used to be the gun that everyone used. There was a whole meta dedicated around it, and, you know, obviously it got nerfed because everyone was using it. And ever since it got nerfed, it's been kind of MIA, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just been there. Not really be talked about, it was just sitting there. But recently, I started kind of, you know, I saw it kind of coming out of the shadows. I've been using it personally, and I gotta say that that weapon is still really good. I'm not gonna go overboard and say that it is as good as it was, you know, obviously before it got nerfed, but it's pretty good. Now, before we actually get into the comparison, I want to talk about the other ARs before you guys come at my neck. So before all this, I want to let it be known that these two guns are, you know, like the Grau and Kilo, or arguably could be considered number one. The M4, the RAM, and AMAX could also be considered number one. And the rest of the ARs are all, I won't say ass, but they're not nowhere near contention for number one. So I'm sorry to all you M13 users out there, but the M13 is just, there's just no way it could even be considered number one. Now look, personal preference prevails. So if you think that the M13 is the best gun for you, hey man, more power to you. Go ahead and use it. But for the wide majority, that M13 is not the best gun. Anyways, let's get into the comparison. Here we have the recoil pattern for a base Grau. Now, the Grau was no secret back in Season 2 to Season 4, the best gun in the game. And it was one of the staples of Warzone. And everybody used it. Everybody used it. Then when it got nerfed, it was like nobody knew what to use. And then the Bruin came, and we all regretted that time period when the Bruin became meta. And we all missed the Grau. So, after it got nerfed, however, it had this feeling. And I don't know how many of you guys share this feeling. I'm assuming a lot of you guys do. And I'm going to try my best to explain it. So when it got nerfed, right, in certain gunfights, you could feel the nerf. And what I mean by that is, for example, if I was to shoot someone on top of a building, right, and I melt them, and they get just around, like for example, this red building that I'm on, they get on this side, the one that I just peeked over, by one bullet, you would be like, if they didn't get nerfed, I would have killed them right then and there. There was a lot of gunfights that felt like that. That felt like if it didn't get nerfed, I would have killed them. Because it took that extra 1 or 2 bullets to kill somebody at farther ranges. But it was hard to it's hard to explain because it felt more than just a bullet or two. It felt like these people were kind of eating and this weapon was shooting a little bit of marshmallows. But recently, I haven't felt like that. This gun has given me the vibes of before it got nerfed. Now, obviously, I don't think it got, you know, the nerf gone or whatever, or the nerf got retracted or whatever. Obviously, I think the nerf is still there, but it feels a lot better. Maybe it's because the Bruin isn't in meta anymore, and the Kilo is kind of like not too overpowered and not too underpowered. So maybe that makes the Grau feel a little better than it actually is. But all I'm saying is that the Grau still feels really good. And like, I mean, come on. It's literally it melts, it beams, it has 60 in the clip, it's pretty fast. Like, come on, bro, like, you can't go wrong with this gun. The iron sight is beautiful. Like, the barrel, the Archangel barrel makes it that gun. Like, the hands down, this has the best iron sight in the game. Like, I don't feel like there should be any, like, debate on that. The iron sight is probably one of the more clear ones in the game. It's very easy to hit shots with, and you don't have to use a sight with the gun. Now, obviously, if you want to go the route of a blue dot or a BOK, I'm not stopping you, but the iron sight is really good. Like, look at this iron sight, bro. It's amazing. But like I said, man, like, the gun feels really good right now. And honestly, if you haven't used it in a while, man, switch out that Kilo and put it on. I'm telling you, bro, you can't go wrong with it. It's a really good weapon. It's really good. No troll. But, I don't know, like, I just feel like with there not being an overly powered gun, because the AMAX, in my opinion, I think it's like probably one of the more powerful ARs in the category, and I think it's, you know, a really good AR, but it has the recoil factor. So it kind of balances it out. from it being too overpowered, because recoil, you know, some people can't control that, so some people, you know, shy away from the weapon. But this Grau kind of had it all, or it has it all. Or it's not actually too overpowered, because again, if the nerf is still there, which, you know, obviously it's still probably there, there's just no way it's gone. Then, you know, it's very balanced, it's very nice, it feels really good. And with the Kilo now being that weapon, and that gun not being too overpowered or too underpowered, I feel like there's a fine median right now of how these ARs feel. So it might actually make the Grau feel a lot better, because we don't have something like the Bruin melting through everybody. Now, that's all I gotta say about the Grau for now. I'm probably gonna speak about it a little bit later, but let's get into the Kilo. And here we have the recoil pattern for a base Kilo. So like I said in the beginning, this weapon right here is considered the best gun or the best AR in the game. And I mentioned before how the Grau could become the next best thing, or even the other 3 ARs that I named could become the next best thing. But right now, this gun seems to be the one that everyone was rocking. And for very good reason. It feels really good. Like, look right here, this is my class right here. And before we even go any further, I want to mention something. So, as you guys can see, I use the holographic sight. And then I'm pretty sure my comparison video with the Kilo and AMAX, I mentioned that I ran the 50 round mag instead of the 60 round mag, because for me personally, with the 60 round mag in the holo sight, it felt slower. Well, I had a comment in that video tell me that apparently the 60 on the Kilo is the same ADS speed as the 50 mag. I don't know if that's true. I didn't say that. I'm just relaying the information. Because if it's true, if you don't want to use the 50, you want to use 60, I think you can with the holographic. But again, like I said, when I used the holographic sight with the 60, it felt a tad bit too slow, so the 50 felt just right with me. And the reason I use the holographic sight is because of the Golly blue dot, the best reticle in the game, hands down. If you don't have the red blue dot, I recommend go get it, because I'm telling you, this thing will make your shit a beamer. But anyways, this gun is Mr. Reliable, like Mr. Reliable 2.0. This gun has never really been touched until recently. And you know what's crazy? It was just as good as it is now as it was back then. And coincidentally, your boy made a comparison video on it like a way back when and got 20k views from it, because your boy pretty much told the future. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean to brag or anything, but yeah. But like I was saying, the Kilo is a very interesting case, because it's considered a good weapon, but there's still a lot of like uncertainty of it. So some people you could ask and be like, do you like the Kilo? Like, nah, it's a little too weak for me, or nah, I don't like the way this is about the weapon, or this or that. So there's like a certain factor that steers away people from the gun itself. And even some streamers like Nick Merch don't like using the gun because, you know, they think it's a cap. You know what I'm saying? If you watch them, you know what that means. But I personally really love the weapon. Dude, the Kilo has brought me a lot of success. I think, hands down, probably the most success out of any other gun that I've used, excluding the MP5. Because MP5 is the MP5. You run it pretty much with everything. But the Kilo, I got a lot of good memories with it, and I really, really, truly enjoy using it. Because again, like I said, it's not a cheesy weapon. Like, yes, everyone uses it, but it's not like this overpowered weapon where, you know, you want it nerfed or you just hate dying to it. Or it's not like the Grau, the Bruin, or just any other those crazy weapons. It's a very balanced weapon in my opinion. I feel like, because you have the critics of it saying it's a weak weapon, and you have some people say, oh, it's a really good weapon. It kind of balances it out. And so back to the point that I was saying earlier, I feel like that's the reason why the Grau feels so good, is because this gun isn't overpowered or underpowered. So if you match it up together, they feel really close. So if I was to do like a Bruin Grau, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, you would feel like, oh, the Grau is just not good. But now that the Bruin is nerfed, you know what I'm saying, I feel like every other gun just comes back down to being pretty good, because there's no overpower. Actually, holy crap, I think I just figured it out. I think that's the reason why, like, see, coming into this video, I didn't even have that in mind. But now, talking through it, I feel like that's the reason why. Yo, we just made a breakthrough discovery. Like, I'm not even making this shit up. Like, dead ass. If you really think about it, the Bruin made every other weapon seem fucking garbage. So that's why when the Kilo was coming into meta, kinda, the Bruin was still really good. And so a lot of people were like, nah, I'd rather use a Bruin. But now that it's got nerfed, like, every other weapon just seems more usable. And every other weapon seems... Yeah, that's it. Oh my god, that's actually the reason why. That has to be the reason why. Like, I mean, come on, guys. Like, in the context below, do you agree with that logic? But does that not make sense? That now that the Bruin, there's like no crazy overpowered gun in the game. Every other weapon seems kind of normal. It seems really good, or just better than it was before, because no other weapon is really, really good. Oh my god, we figured it out, boys. We actually figured it out. Like, I've been saying that all video, but like dead ass, like it didn't click until now. That's probably the reason why. And yo, man, listen, bro. I figured it out. I figured out the formula here. I didn't mean to just ramble on, but you know what I'm saying? The kilo is that weapon, you know what I'm saying? You probably heard millions and millions of times of what it can and what it can't do. You probably have already experienced it yourself. If you haven't used it yet, why are you not using it? It's a really good weapon. Don't feel like, what's it called? It's like this crazy overpowered weapon that you like feel bad using it, because it's really not. It's a really good weapon, but it's not overly powered. And the Grau, give it a try if you haven't, used it since it got nerfed. I know it's one of those weapons that, like, let it go type shit, but nah, bro, I'm telling you, it's actually a really good weapon. It's really fun to use now that it's not the weapon that everyone uses. And I definitely recommend to use it again. Just give it like just use one game. I'm telling you, bro. Like, I'm not trying to let y'all down. You want to get a few, like maybe a nice little 15 kill game. Pull out the Grau. You know what I'm saying? Go superstore and do your thing. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.